Hello, loves. It's Lisa. Welcome to a new day, a new reading. I hope you guys are all doing fabulous. And hopefully wherever you are, you're enjoying a little bit of sunshine. It's been super rainy here, and today, as you can see, it's nice and bright. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna go soak up some sun after I finish this reading. But the topic that we're doing today is, so this spread is basically for someone who's feeling like they maybe have wasted time, they missed their moment, or they should be further along, whatever that means in their mind. But you were never late. You were always just being prepared. And this spread is meant to help you reframe what you have been seeing as delay more as divine alignment, so that you can see yourself as being more prepared now than ever for what you're stepping into next. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to look at how this recent phase has been felt or experienced by you. So if there was any potential frustration, confusion, resistance, pain, that kind of thing that popped up, maybe shame based on expectations that you had for yourself or that others had of you. Then we're going to look at what you needed to learn before this next chapter could begin. So essentially, if there was a lesson, growth, or healing that was aligning you, we're going to look at what that was, where you're being gently redirected. So this would be like the new or clear path or the new opportunity that's opening up now that you are aligned. And then how can you move forwards with trust, peace, and faith, knowing that you are kind of exactly where you need to be. Okay, let's get into it. So how has this recent phase been felt or experienced by you? Let's see. Wow. Okay. Whoa. That's a lot. So I guess you've been feeling it somewhat intensely, huh? Okay, I feel like your experience has been that this has been completely out of your control, is what I feel. Both of these cards, Major Arcana, and it's the World, it's the final card in the Major Arcana. And the Major Arcana basically in the tarot just signifies the Fool's journey. And all of us are the Fool. The Fool is card 0, and the Magician is card number 1. The Fool is kind of like the traveler, if you will. And the Major Arcana is basically life. It's like the energetic cycles that we move through on a grander scale. The things that not happen to us, but the things that we are forced to engage with that are just part of the human experience, basically. And we don't get to really choose whether or not those things happen, but we do get to choose based on our free will, how we respond or react to them. So the World indicates the closure of going through a huge cycle, and it usually includes the final integration of a deep, deep, deep lesson. And then you have this card, Alchemy, the Philosopher's Stone of Infinity, Destiny, and Magic. So I think that you have definitely felt that forces greater than you have been at play or at work in this last period that you've been going through. But at the same time, the World in reverse, it could have felt like, like it just drug on and on and on, or like it's still dragging on. I heard a nightmare that never ends. So for some of you, this has felt like maybe the entire cycle, like the World is the last piece, the closing piece of the cycle, right? Maybe you felt like the entire cycle has been painful and just full of difficult and challenging lessons. But at the same time, you feel like now the end, like the crescendo or the climax to the overall cycle is difficult as well. And it's also just taking forever on top of that is kind of what I'm getting. So yeah, it's felt long. But there's also been this element of magic. This is also kind of coming through a little bit as the Wheel of Fortune, destiny, fate. So again, cycles that we don't have control, things that we get kind of like divine timing kind of energy. Okay, so some of you have felt like the World or destiny, the universe, has put you in a bit of a time out. But there has been a lot actually taking place during that time. And I think that a deeper part of you or a higher part of you has understood that, because this is how you've felt or experienced this phase. So for some of you, you're just like, you know, fuck the spiritual, fuck the magic, fuck destiny. I'm just trying to like move forwards with my tangible physical life. And spirit is like, we have other plans, or we have had other plans for you. But this has felt basically like a cycle that just would not end. So tell me more. Is there anything else about how this phase has felt that we need to know about? The Eight of Swords in reverse. There's been a lot of fears that you've needed to face here. It has been liberating, but I feel like it's also been, again, like just a little bit draining. You could have felt like this was a huge phase of shadow work where you were really forced to come up against a lot of fears, insecurities, doubts, different things like that. Maybe things that you were even keeping more in your unconscious or your subconscious, again, your shadow, that needed to be brought up to the surface in order to fall into place so that you could learn the lesson and integrate and close this cycle out. So you're kind of just telling me it's been extended, long, and arduous, but there has been, like, you're saying that you already can recognize that some of it has been destined, some of it has been, like, there has been a magic kind of serendipitous element to it, even if it's felt heavy. You're aware that there's a greater purpose, and you are aware that this has forced you to overcome some fears that were keeping you stuck and keeping you small. But of course, you know, expanding beyond fears and doubts and insecurities and, you know, even conditioning and old wounds and all of these kinds of things, that can be really, it can be really challenging. Yeah, it can be hard to look at those things within us and hard to kind of metabolize them into our overall being. So you're basically saying this has taken bravery, it's taken patience, and that's how I've experienced it. Okay, what did you need to learn before this next chapter could begin? Damn. Okay. Who are you? The Cleopatra of our time? Like, because that's what this is giving, these energies together. I'm getting really strong scorpionic energy here with the Queen of Wands, the Healer, and the Alchemy card here. There's also Saturnian energy with the World there, or just all of the fixed energies are included in that as well. So Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. Okay, well, this makes a lot of sense. So you needed to learn. This could have been a phase where you were actually facing, some really deep wounds. For some of you, it was your Chiron wound was being really exacerbated. You could have had some interesting transits going on that were kind of highlighting that. Maybe like some things squaring your Chiron or aggravating your Chiron wound, forcing you to kind of take note and look at that. And the reason I say that is because, and whether it was your Chiron wound specifically or not, it was some sort of deep wound, like an inner child wound, attachment style, something that was conditioned in or programmed in, that was really needing, it's like you needed to learn how to heal this wound within yourself so that you could move forwards with confidence. And I feel like you are meant to not just heal yourself, but you're also meant to take the knowledge of how you healed personally and help others. The Queen of Wands is very charismatic. She gets lots of attention. She can be a leader. She can be an influencer. But yeah, she also is a healer. She's very connected to spirit. She's very connected to her own spirit. And she doesn't fear her own ability to be a way shower for others. So basically, there's a very powerful exchange of energy that is available here between you and others now that you have done the healing work on yourself. And this is the Eye of Horus here, which in ancient Egyptian symbolism represented protection, good health, royal power. So this is something that this was a spiritual initiation, is what that was, into an energy of being a healer, not just for yourself, but also learning the essential lessons and maybe your own particular journey and process of healing so that you could share it with others, I feel like, or just so you could be in this beautiful energy of light, of passion, of life force, of spirit. But the Queen of Wands she's spicy, she's unapologetic embodiment of the authentic self. And the reason that she has the courage to do that is because she has looked at herself and healed. She has integrated the ego. She has taken accountability, and she is not ashamed. And she's also got a very tuned in energy to spirit, like I said before. So she gets her validation from her own spirit and from spirit itself, and she doesn't need more than that. So yeah, this was a very important lesson or healing phase that did need to happen for your own growth. Is there anything else you want to tell me about this here? I feel like what you healed was most likely different for all of you. So I don't know if they'll have anything else to say about that, but that's pretty clear. Yeah. It was just, it was deep. I heard the first cut is the deepest. That's a song by Sheryl Crow. You might want to listen to that. But the first cut is the deepest. It's basically like I was saying, I feel like you healed or faced an original wound, or yeah, a very, very deep wound, a primal wound for some of you. So it could have even been ancestral or past life, but I feel like this is something that has carried on, and it's been kind of reinforced, this particular betrayal, abandonment, deception, pain. This could even be you abandoning or betraying yourself. But you have healed something that is allowing you to step into the fullness of yourself, again, with confidence and without apology here. And there's something extremely powerful about that. But yeah, you did need to go to some pretty deep and dark places to get to where you are now. So where are you being gently redirected, or what opportunity is opening up now that you're here? Let's see. The Three of Pentacles and transformation. Ooh. There's something, this is giving the sacral chakra and very creative energy with all of that orange. And the Three of Pentacles can talk about creative collaboration, or just coming together, either bringing ingredients together or different, like almost alchemy, right, is what I'm getting even from this particular symbolism on this card. It's just one person kind of working with maybe alchemical elements or esoteric knowledge, or even knowledge of self and connection to spirit, to create magic, to transform almost like base knowledge into wisdom that can be shared in tangible form. Okay. So some of you are meant to create something from an artistic standpoint. Some of you are meant to start a new work endeavor. But spirit, it's going to be very spirit guided, or else it's going to be very guided by whatever lessons were integrated in this last phase, is what I feel. But it's interesting that you just went through this big transformative healing phase, and they're saying where you're being where you're being redirected is into another phase of transformation. But this is about being able to be more present with your process, to honor it, to allow your beauty to be seen by all, and to call in and embody more beauty, more grace, more acceptance during times of transition as well. So you're bringing something together. I feel like this phase that you just came through was more deep and personal. And this phase is either more you and spirit co-creating something in tangible form that will then be shared with others, or it's you actually coming together with like-minded people to create a community, or to create something, again, in tangible physical form So let's see. Tell me more about this opportunity that's going to be opening up. There's an element of bringing together here, though, like uniting. Again, whether that's just different elements or wisdom that you've picked up and honed in on within yourself, or different elements that you've collected, like skills, physical skills, or it could be coming together with others. But there's something about that here. The Knight of Wands. There's a lot of wand energy here. This now, I feel like this was about your spirit and your confidence and your will. This now, like this was about your autonomy, your sovereignty, and knowing who you are in a way that does not need to be justified, explained, validated externally to you at all. So this was really about cementing and standing on your own 2 feet, becoming anchored in yourself. And then here, I feel like now this is about moving from that place. So there's something that you're going to be moving towards now, but it's about taking your spirit with you and moving from that place, no matter what you create. And because you're moving from that place, because you are manifesting from that place and building from that place, the transformation is something that you're carrying with you. And that is you're almost embodying this and like a catalyst for this now. See how the color here is the same here? It's like this is now inside of you to carry forth, to almost like infect others with when you work with them. It is your spirit now. This is just the essence of your spirit now, which is so beautiful. It's like you're not afraid of transformation anymore because you face the darkest parts of yourself in this past phase. So it may have felt very heavy. It may have felt very long, but the reason why it was so important for you to endure through that is because now you're going to carry all that confidence of having come through that and everything you learned about yourself and spirit and others along the way into whatever you create next. And the seeds that you planted within yourself that are growing are also going to be impacting others. Okay, I love that. So how can you move forwards now? Or what energy or mindset or action will kind of help you walk forwards from this place with trust, with peace, rather than sort of stress and judgment? Okay. The Page of Cups with Venusians. So the message here is definitely strong. Venusians, romance, soulmates, and empathy. And then the Page of Cups is about expression from the heart, from the purest part of your heart. So this is about personal expression from the heart, and then this is about sharing that with other people, just from a place of Venus, from the heart again. So it doesn't have to be about romantic love necessarily, but for some of you, that will be the case. But this is kind of about romanticizing your own life and again, carrying this beautiful, transformative and loving energy wherever you go, whoever you engage with. It's about taking the empathy and the genuine, unconditional love that you have now created inside of yourself that is somewhat unwavering, right? And it's unwavering because it's coming from spirit and it's coming from you. Again, you're not trying to fill a void or find someone else to love you. You are loving yourself, and that is spilling out over your edges. So that's so beautiful because no matter who you're coming into contact with, you're able to offer them this resonance, this empathy, this softness, and this openness without feeling exposed. So for some of you, you will be coming into contact with quite a significant lover. This could end up being your lifelong partner if you don't already have one, or else just a friend or a business partner or someone who is a soulmate. They don't have to be a soulmate in a romantic way necessarily, but this is someone who is very, very strong strongly connected to you. And they've done the same kind of work so they can meet you in this space of openness, compassion, and true intimacy, where you can know one another on a deeper level. But this is the energy you're meant to move forwards with. And you're meant to trust that if you haven't already experienced these kinds of connections, that you will, that that's coming for you because of the work that you've done and the energy that you're embodying and radiating now. So anything else? Oh, the Queen of Swords. Okay. Take your, lead with the heart, but take your head with you. Always good. Always Spirit's like, but remember your discernment. Okay, so this is not naivety. This is openness that is powerful. It's like radical acceptance and openness that is powerful, that is brave, that is bold. Because it doesn't feel the need to contract and be defensive and protect itself, even its most tender parts. But that is because it's backed by the discernment and the spirit that was built and reinforced throughout this whole process. So there are some very important lessons that were learned here through hard work that set, it's like now these really pure, tender parts of yourself, your heart, your soul, this inner child element of you, they're ready to express themselves more openly and without fear because you have this discernment, this very strong knowing that is protecting you. And this, I feel like with the Queen of Swords, it doesn't come so much from like learning and facts and that sort of thing, like practical learning. It does come from that, but it's more experience. She has gone through many experiences, and those experiences and then her insightful introspection on them is what has gotten her the wisdom and the insight that gives her overall a sense of discernment. Because discernment isn't just being intelligent, like in terms of book smart, brain smart. It is also using your intuition in equal parts. So yeah, is there anything else that we need to know before I let these beautiful people go? No, I think that that's it. Yeah, this looks really beautiful. There is no need to rush. There is no need to move with urgency. You can walk forwards in peace and faith, knowing that the hardest part is behind you. But even through this, even when it felt excruciating or drawn out, you've always been protected by something higher. You have always been on your path. This is just such, like every card here is just validating. You were never late. You were never behind. You were never off course. You were never lost. You were always in perfect comfort, alignment, preparation on your path. And what you're moving into next, and how powerful and beautiful and just full of warmth and light, honestly, and peace that you're going to feel is just going to be such a direct reflection of that and proof of that. So this looks absolutely beautiful, and I hope that you take all these lessons and experience and you just pour a lot of gratitude on that, because there's only really beautiful, powerful things coming for you in this next chapter. Okay, I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you again soon. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye.